Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. What's instrumental form? What's an etude? Well, it's a way of handling harmonic progressions that creates character and style. Let's take a look. So, every instrumentalist, every arranger has to make choices about how a chord is played, not necessarily what chord, not even really talking about inversions, but I mean how the chord is played. I've got a bunch of books here. These are piano books of mine, and each of them is an etude book. Etude just means study. Composers, classical composers of the European sort of common practice period, were very, very engaged with how to play chords. And for an instrumentalist, a lot of what you're going to be doing is playing patterns that are basically chords. Every one of these pages shows a very distinct pattern. We're going to talk about those patterns in a second. Each of them looks different, and each of them has a signature sound. That signature sound has everything to do with the style of music that the instrumentalist plays or the orchestrator manages. Let's take a look at some very simple ideas. It's Danny Boy. I've written the chords over here. This is an example of homophonic form, a single melody supported by triads. Now, those triads are what we're going to look at right now because there's any number of ways to play them. Playing a simple triad as a block is called block chord form. But of course, that's not the only way. In my mind, I have three ways that I categorize how I hear instrumental form. The first is block. The second is what I call alternating bass. And there's any number of ways to do either of them, right? For instance, an alternating bass might have a walk. Any number of ways to do it. The third way, so we've got block, alternating bass, or sometimes I just say alternating in my head. And the third way is broken. A broken chord, I think most of you might think of it as an arpeggio. Here are those same chords as block chords without any melody. C7, F, F again, B flat, B minor. I could do operations to this block chord to create all kinds of voicings and stuff, but at its heart, it's just a block chord. Let's skip forward and now take a look at an arpeggiated or broken chord. C7, F, B flat, B flat minor. It's beautiful. And of course, every instrumental form has a strong stylistic character. Players go into the shed and work for a couple of years to work out how they're going to approach chords. And the things that they generally work out are instrumental forms. Here's a simple alternating chord form, alternating bass. These are the simplest forms of these three categories. We're going to look at more complicated forms, probably in a different video. All right, that's enough of that. So I thought I'd amuse myself by doing a small orchestration using block chords and then alternating chords and then arpeggiated chords. This is a simple orchestration with Albi and Neo block chords. Now, alternating chords. Very different feel, a little stately. But I also wanted to try some arpeggiation. So here's a string arpeggio and piano as well. Very different world. The harmony doesn't change. The instrumental form changes. Instrumental form is what my teacher called it, but you can think of it as style. What style do you play in? I like to play, for instance, polyphonic music, where independent melodic lines engage to create the chords. Other people may just like to hold down chords as they accompany themselves singing. If you're a guitarist and a finger picker, your finger picking is a version of a broken chord. And you may well embellish each note within that chord shape by using hammer-ons and pull-offs. We can do that in orchestration, and in fact, the next time we look at this issue, I think that's what we're gonna do. Embellishing these instrumental forms leads to very specific personal and sometimes sort of life-changing styles. We know a great artist by the specificity of their instrumental form, of their style. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe, and if you ding the bell, you'll be notified when I do my next video. I'll see you next time.